Hey everyone, this is Stacy with SF Johnson Consulting and Construction Services, and I'm going to be presenting in this video the basics of the finishes. So we're going to go over various finishes and what plans you need to look at and what you need to consider when that is your trade. So the finishes are everything that goes in and on the building once the building's been constructed, from paint to flooring to even the roof finish. And so it's important if you are doing, if your scope of work is paint or brick or any kind of wall covering or wall finish, that you do have a good set of elevation views. And the elevation view is the view as if you're standing in front of it live, and like we're outside and this is the exterior elevation. So it's as if we're outside this building looking at it. And it's going to give you, of course, a finish schedule of ABC, and this is through Z of the different finishes. And so to make your life real easy, if you are the painter, you're going to look for new paint. And then, okay, that lets me know I have to determine the square footage of everything that's B, C, D, where else? We're going to paint the doors. We can do that separate. And then we have to remove some mold, okay? And so basically, everything is marked. And so use a good digitized software, and then you can get your measurements very accurate, which is important for competitive bidding, right? You have to make sure that all of your numbers are, to be competitive. A good start is to have very accurate takeoff numbers, meaning your measurements. And so you want to always have a good digitized software that you can use to determine areas or linears or segments, portions of lines, or whatever. Okay, and two, sometimes you have sets of plans that aren't clear. Like if you notice here, this gray area, I don't have anything colored in, which means, this tells me either there's a mistake on the plans and I've let the GC know a while back, or there's nothing that we need to do to this gray area. You see that everything is either noted, or I know, this is a new garage door, so I know that's going to be painted because it's set on the door schedule. But as far as this area, this is noted, right? But that's just the roof. L is just the roof, and there's nothing to be done to the roof, so that's why that's not colored. But it's important when you have a set of plans, if you are the painter and you get something like this, and you either exclude this area or give them a call and say, hey, am I supposed to paint the south elevation any particular color because it's not marked, as opposed to this being marked, those are marked, everything is marked except for this gray area. So we assume there's nothing to be done to that because this is an existing building that's really just having an addition added on. So that makes sense that we wouldn't be doing anything to this. But then we're painting the downspouts and all of the gutters. Okay, so make sure you just don't assume when you get a set of plans. Never add more than what you see, and ask questions. Okay, so that's the exterior elevation. So finishes is important to get elevation views, especially like if you're the painter. That's the only way to get a good visual, so you can get good measurements. And then we want to also look at the finish schedule, so we know each of the rooms. In the event we don't have good elevations, at least we know, okay, well, we're going to have carpet, I believe, on the floor, rubber wall base, paint one, everything. All four walls in all of the rooms appear to be painted the same color, paint one. And then all of the ceilings appear to be acoustical ceiling tile. That's a finish. Paint's a finish. All of these are finishes. That's why it's called the finish schedule. All right. And so we pretty much know what everything is going to be. A lot of things aren't going to be done. The shop area, there's nothing. Sealed concrete on the floor. No wall base. so you get a good idea. And then the finished plan. So from the finished plans, right, you get the plan view, which is a view from above. So now you can do all of your wall bases and all of your floors, the different floors. You can get a real good, get some good measurements. And then the last thing to do is to have your interior elevations for the inside. So now you can get your wall measurements very accurately, and there's no questioning for whether it's tile or paint, excuse me, or the trim. All right, and you can get, had to put it on hold real quick, hopefully it doesn't show. My grandkids gave me a cough over Thanksgiving, and it's just been crazy. Okay, so interior elevations give you a good idea of all of your areas. Can be very accurate. Set your scale and then begin to make your measurements depending on what you got. And then here we know this is glass, so we're not painting the glass, so we didn't include that. Okay, so interior elevations, exterior elevations for all your wall finishes is vital, so you can get good measurements. And two, from your floor plan, actually, let's go to, oh, also reflective ceiling. If you're doing the acoustical ceiling tile, gotta look at that too. Let's take all the bubbles. Okay, so ceiling, am I the ACT person? I have 2x2 acoustical ceiling tile. Just get the area, and then the IT room is JIT. All right, so we have to paint that, so we always have to look at the reflective ceiling. Okay, in order to see what ceiling components we need to measure. And last but not least, we go to the interior elevations. I can never find them on in the row. Equipment, elevations, exterior elevations, and then the interior elevations again. Go to those, get all your interior measurements, and then really you want to go to your door schedule if you have to paint the doors and the frames. Okay, so finishes, right? I mean, it's just for finishes, paint. So really any wall paint, wall finishes, elevation views, reflective ceiling plan. Got to come to your door schedule to see if it's stained or painted for the door or nothing. Okay, interior elevations inside. Your finish schedules tell you the finishes in each of the rooms, on each of the surfaces. Then you go to your plans to do your plan view measurements, wall bases, floor tiles. And then you have to go to your interior to get the walls, right? Because this is an interior elevation marker. So this says that page IN 401, image 14 is going to show you everything on that wall, and that's how we make, those are where the interior elevation views come from, using the interior elevation markers. So on each wall, depending on where the arrow's pointed, what's going on each one of those walls, and then you could take those measurements. So if each room pretty much has a interior elevation marker, your interior elevations are covered, except for see that this room doesn't have one. So we just go to the reflective ceiling plan or the finish plan for the IT room. See if it even has anything on it. Paint, okay. So what we need to determine then, what's the height of the wall in the IT room, because we don't have an interior elevation. So how we do that is we go to the reflective ceiling plan, because the job of the reflective ceiling plan is to tell us the height of the ceiling, which basically is the wall, right? And the finish on the ceiling. Here, this symbol, this format, pretty much this design indicates drywall. Okay, so even though we didn't have an interior elevation marker on that finish plan, you go to the reflective ceiling plan, and that is the height of the ceiling. So if you have to paint it, you figure you're going to paint to the ceiling, and give it a couple inches if you want. Okay, so, and then our other finish really is our roof and what we need to look at, and this is our new roof. So what? The roof is going to give you the flat area, of course, and if you have a good measuring tool, your scope of your roof can be taken into account, because the steeper the slope, right, the more material is going to be to cover that slope. And then of course you have to look at all of your section views to see where that's going to lead us, or does that show us something in terms of our roof finish. And we know that these are all of our downspouts as part of the roof. So the painter and the roofer needs information about the downspouts, but the roofer doesn't paint the downspouts. Right, so the roofer needs to look at all of these. So 2 over A102. A102, where are we? Oh wait, we're already here. 2. Okay, so for the roofer, they need to say, okay, this is my scope of work. Anything else I need to know? This is a type of roof. And then this 2, this doesn't, that's the existing roof. So that's here at this connection. So that's nothing I need to know about. And then this one, 6 over A302. Let's just look at that because it is off the roof. A302, 6. Yes, we need to know now. This is our roof. We need to look at both of these, because it is a detailed call out that encompasses our roof, so that may tell us we have a scope of work within these call outs. So 13A 501, this is 501 I think, right? No. So 13 and 14, 501. 13 and 14. 13, where is it? See, I already worked on it. So for my roofer, no, nothing more than a roof, because this is the fascia. That's not the roofer. That's not the roofer. That's not the roofer. That's not the roofer. 13, 14. Metal channel. Yes, the roofer. Yeah. Or, well, if it's like flashing, yeah. Or it's structural. I have to see. No, that's structural. I think I did that for the structural. So roofer, no. Okay, so you have to make sure you follow your call outs, whether you know it's for you or not. But if it encompasses your scope of work, you gotta follow it. Alright, so finishes. Now let's look at an actual estimate. So new finishes, this is all the floor tile, square feet, cost book, and most crucial is the man-hour unit, cost unit, out of the cost book, because it tells you the accurate amount of man-hours it takes for each line item. Okay, so you have to make sure you get a good material cost, okay? But the things that will probably, either help you win or not is how accurate are you when you say how long it takes you to do each scope of work. Tile work is very time consuming, very expensive too. But how are you determining how much time it takes? That's all you need to ask yourself. Are you doing it by guesswork? Are you using some kind of standard based on construction? Right? That's the difference between a winning bid and one that's just thrown in the trash. I'm telling you. All right, so paint, how we have it here, and I'm going to come through with a separate painting estimate, but this is a subcontractor price. So this incorporates material and labor per square foot. But I'll come through and do a small video again for a painting estimate that breaks down each of the tile, walls, ceilings, railing, concrete, and then I think I did it before. That's probably already on there. And then how we determine how many 5 gallon or gallon buckets of paint we use, and I think I already have that on there actually. But this is a subcontractor price, and then miscellaneous stuff. This is miscellaneous finishes, the coffee bar, and they had a bunch of extra stuff I just added for them. The bathroom accessories. Okay, so that's what it looks like if you want to be a winner. And then, you can play with your labor rate based on your city and state and, all that good stuff. But yeah, if you have any questions related to this, the basics of finishes, we kind of threw all the finishes there all together. Email me at education@sfjohnsonconsulting.com. Let me know what you think, and I will see you at the next video. And if you haven't subscribed, why not? Come on, please do. Tell your friends, and I will talk to you very, very soon.